Zhang Linghe couldn't hide his jealousy after seeing Tian Xiwei laughing with Wang Anyu at a cafe. Stop scrolling because this is the kind of story that instantly makes hearts race and sparks endless conversations. What really happened when Zhang Linghe unexpectedly saw Tian Xiwei sharing a joyful moment with Wang Anyu at a quiet cafe? Was it simple friendship, or was there something hidden behind those smiles that nobody expected? Stay until the very end because every scene unfolds into an unforgettable emotional roller coaster that has everyone talking. If you love surprising celebrity moments and mysterious interactions that leave fans guessing for days, then keep reading because this story will completely pull you in. The afternoon had started peacefully. The city was wrapped in a calm atmosphere as people casually walked along the streets enjoying their day. Hidden among the busy roads was a charming cafe known for its elegant design and peaceful environment. Inside sat Tian Xiwei. She looked relaxed and comfortable, wearing a simple outfit that made her natural beauty shine effortlessly. Across from her sat Wang Anyu. The two actors appeared completely immersed in their conversation. Every few moments, Tian Xiwei burst into laughter. Not the kind of polite laughter people use to fill awkward silence. This was genuine. Her eyes sparkled with happiness, and her smile seemed impossible to hide. Wang Anyu was equally cheerful. He animatedly shared stories that caused Tian Xiwei to laugh even harder. People around them could not help but notice the positive energy surrounding their table. The scene looked straight out of a romantic drama. But nobody expected what would happen next. At that exact moment, Zhang Linghe arrived nearby. He was not expecting to see Tian Xiwei there. At first, he simply glanced toward the cafe while walking. Then suddenly he froze. His eyes landed directly on Tian Xiwei. Then they shifted toward Wang Anyu. The world around him seemed to slow down for a brief moment. There she was, smiling, laughing, looking happier than ever. For a second, Zhang Linghe remained completely still. Observers nearby immediately noticed a subtle change in his expression. The calm look on his face slowly transformed. He maintained composure, but there was something impossible to ignore. His eyes revealed a flicker of emotion. Something deeper. Something he could not entirely conceal. Was it surprise? Was it concern? Or was it jealousy? The question instantly began forming in the minds of everyone who witnessed the moment. Tian Xiwei was still engaged in conversation and had not yet noticed him. Meanwhile, Zhang Linghe stood quietly. His gaze briefly returned to Wang Anyu. The two actors appeared comfortable around each other. Wang Anyu leaned forward slightly, while speaking enthusiastically. Tian Xiwei responded with another bright laugh. That was the moment something changed. Zhang Linghe adjusted his posture. He looked away for a second before looking back once more, almost as if he was debating whether to approach them. His expression remained polite but noticeably different from before. The energy surrounding him felt heavier. People nearby immediately sensed it. Everyone knows that emotions can sometimes appear without warning. Even the calmest individuals struggle to hide what they truly feel. And perhaps this was one of those moments. After a brief pause, Zhang Linghe finally decided to walk closer. His steps were measured, not rushed, not hesitant, just deliberate. As he approached the table, Tian Xiwei suddenly noticed him. Her eyes widened slightly. Then her face instantly brightened. She greeted him warmly. That smile alone would have melted almost anyone. But something fascinating happened. Zhang Linghe smiled back. Yet there was a tiny difference. A subtle hesitation. A barely noticeable pause. The kind that only appears when emotions are involved. Wang Anyu greeted him politely as well. The atmosphere remained friendly. Nobody appeared uncomfortable. But there was an undeniable tension floating in the air. A tension that could not be explained with words. The three exchanged greetings and began chatting. Tian Xiwei enthusiastically shared parts of their earlier conversation. She was excited and expressive. Meanwhile, Zhang Linghe listened carefully. He nodded occasionally, but his attention seemed divided. Every time Wang Anyu made Tian Xiwei laugh again, Zhang Linghe quietly observed. His expression remained controlled. Yet those subtle glances told an entirely different story. Fans have always admired Zhang Linghe for his calm and elegant personality. He rarely lets emotions overpower him. That is exactly why this moment felt so extraordinary. Because sometimes the smallest reactions reveal the biggest feelings. Minutes passed. The conversation continued naturally. However, Zhang Linghe seemed quieter than usual. Instead of speaking frequently, he preferred to observe. His eyes occasionally followed Tian Xiwei. Whenever she laughed, he smiled too. But there was a certain mystery hidden underneath. Almost as though he was realizing something important. Perhaps he was recognizing how much he valued her presence. Perhaps he was understanding emotions he had never fully acknowledged before. Sometimes people only discover their feelings when faced with unexpected situations. And perhaps that was exactly what was happening. The atmosphere inside the café slowly shifted. Customers nearby pretended not to stare, but curiosity was impossible to suppress. Everyone sensed that something meaningful was unfolding. Tian Xiwei remained her cheerful self. Her personality effortlessly filled the room with warmth. She moved between conversations naturally, making both actors feel included. Yet even she seemed to notice a slight difference in Zhang Linghe. At one point she asked if he was all right. He smiled, then simply nodded. But his answer felt shorter than usual. That tiny detail was enough to make fans imagine countless possibilities. As the afternoon continued, the sunlight streaming through the windows created a beautiful scene. The café suddenly resembled the setting of an emotional television drama. 3 talented actors. 3 different energies. 1 unforgettable encounter. Then something even more surprising happened. Tian Xiwei stood up to grab another drink. As she walked away for a brief moment, Zhang Linghe and Wang Anyu remained at the table. The atmosphere immediately changed. Not because there was hostility. There was none. Instead, there was a silent understanding. 2 professionals respecting one another. Yet beneath that respect existed a natural sense of competition. Not competition over careers. Something much deeper. Something impossible to define. Their conversation remained polite, but every word carried subtle weight. Then Tian Xiwei returned. The atmosphere immediately became lighter again. Her presence seemed to brighten everything around her. And perhaps that was exactly the reason this moment felt so emotional. People who bring joy into our lives often become more important than we realize. The fear of losing their attention can awaken feelings we never expected. As the gathering slowly came to an end, everyone prepared to leave. Wang Anyu said his goodbyes first. He smiled warmly and departed. Tian Xiwei waved happily. Then she turned toward Zhang Linghe. For a moment, the noise around them disappeared. It was a quiet instant filled with unspoken thoughts. They exchanged a few words. Nobody knows exactly what was said. But whatever it was seemed to soften his expression immediately. The earlier tension slowly disappeared. His smile finally reached his eyes. Perhaps all he needed was reassurance. Perhaps all he needed was a reminder that not every laugh carries hidden meaning. Sometimes friendship is simply friendship, but emotions are rarely that simple. As they walked out together, fans nearby could not stop talking about what they had witnessed. Social media exploded with theories. People replayed every tiny expression, every glance, every smile, every pause. The biggest topic remained the same. Could Zhang Linghe really have been jealous? Nobody can say for certain. Only he knows the answer. But one thing became undeniable. The moment revealed a side of him that fans rarely get to see. A side that felt human, vulnerable, and deeply relatable. Because at the end of the day, everyone has experienced that sudden feeling when they see someone important sharing a special moment with another person. It is an emotion that appears without warning. An emotion impossible to fully control. And perhaps that is why this story captured so many hearts. Because behind the celebrity names and glamorous lives lies something beautifully simple. Real emotion. The kind that turns ordinary afternoons into unforgettable memories. The kind that transforms a simple cafe visit into a story people will talk about for a very long time. And if this mysterious moment taught us anything, it is that sometimes the smallest expressions reveal the biggest feelings. Sometimes a single glance says more than 1,000 words ever could. And sometimes, no matter how hard someone tries, jealousy has a way of quietly finding its way to the surface. Then something happened that nobody expected. Just when it seemed the afternoon was ending, Tian Xiwei suddenly slowed her steps and looked directly at Zhang Linghe with a playful smile. The atmosphere instantly changed. She appeared to notice that he had been unusually quiet throughout the entire encounter. Instead of letting the moment pass, she decided to break the silence herself. She began telling him another funny story that had happened earlier in the day. Her hands moved animatedly as she spoke, and within seconds, she was laughing once again. But this time, the laughter was different. It was no longer shared across a table with Wang Anyu. It was directed entirely toward Zhang Linghe. For a brief moment, his expression softened completely. The tension that had been lingering around him slowly disappeared. His eyes brightened, and he finally responded with a genuine laugh of his own. The sudden shift was impossible to ignore. It was as if a hidden weight had instantly been lifted. As they continued walking, fans nearby could not help but notice their natural chemistry. There was no awkwardness, no forced conversation. Everything flowed effortlessly. Tian Xiwei occasionally looked at him while speaking, almost as if she wanted to make sure he was paying attention to every word. Meanwhile, Zhang Linghe seemed more focused than ever. Every detail mattered. Every smile seemed to capture his attention. Then came another surprising moment. Tian Xiwei suddenly stopped and pointed toward a small dessert display outside another shop. Her face immediately lit up with excitement. Without hesitation, she began talking about her favorite dessert and how she had wanted to try it for a long time. The sight was incredibly charming. Zhang Linghe looked at her for a second before smiling quietly. There was something unmistakably warm in his expression. The kind of expression people rarely show unless they genuinely enjoy being around someone. At that moment, the earlier jealousy people had been discussing seemed to transform into something else entirely. It looked more like realization. Perhaps he was realizing how much he appreciated these simple moments with her. Perhaps he was understanding that her happiness was something he naturally wanted to protect. As evening slowly approached, the golden sunlight surrounded them, creating a scene that looked straight out of a beautiful drama finale. They walked side by side, continuing their conversation without any rush to leave. And for everyone who witnessed the unforgettable afternoon, one question remained. Was this truly a story about jealousy? Or was it the beginning of someone finally recognizing feelings they could no longer hide? Whatever the answer may be, one thing became clear. Sometimes the quietest emotions become the loudest stories of all.